Part 1. The Lie Behind Kindness. The Truth Society Hides. Since childhood you were told, be kind, be helpful, be understanding, be the bigger person. But here is the truth society hides from you. The world does not reward kindness. The world exploits it. People love the idea of kindness, but they do not love the consequences of it. Because real kindness requires sacrifice, energy, time, effort, boundaries, courage, discernment. Most people are not looking for kindness. They are looking for advantage. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. Men love at their convenience, but they exploit at every opportunity. And the kind man is the easiest opportunity of all. People tell you kindness makes you admirable, but in reality, it often makes you overlooked, used, overextended, underappreciated, taken for granted, emotionally drained, because kindness, without strength behind it, looks exactly like weakness. And once people label you as weak, they will reinterpret everything you do. Your patience becomes passivity. Your compassion becomes compliance. Your help becomes obligation. Your effort becomes expectation. Your silence becomes surrender. This is the dark truth. Kindness does not protect you. It exposes you. Kindness is not the problem. The context is. Kindness given to the wrong people results in self-destruction. Kindness shown without boundaries results in resentment. Kindness offered without discernment results in exploitation. Machiavelli would say, "To be kind to all is to be used by many." And that is the part of kindness nobody warns you about. Part 2. Why kindness makes you invisible. Most men don't realize this brutal truth. Kindness doesn't make you stand out. It makes you disappear. Because the moment people notice you're kind, reliable, and giving, your actions stop being special and start being expected. Kindness becomes your identity. Your identity becomes your obligation. Your obligation becomes your prison. Here's how it happens. 1. People stop seeing you. They only see your usefulness. You think kindness makes people appreciate you, but what it actually does is turn you into a function, turn your presence into a service, turn your time into a resource, turn your emotions into tools. People don't see you. They see what you provide. You disappear behind the value you give. Machiavelli understood this psychological shift. Men see what you appear to be, not what you are. When you appear endlessly kind, you stop being a person and become a utility. Utilities are used, not admired. 2. Kindness removes the tension that creates attraction and respect. Humans are wired to react to mystery, boundaries, danger, unpredictability, confidence, authority. Kindness removes all of these. It says, I'm safe, I'm available, I'm non-threatening, I won't challenge you, I'll accept whatever you give me. Safe men are not respected. Predictable men are not valued. Overly kind men ignite no emotional tension. Without tension, you become forgettable. 3. Kindness is expected from you, not noticed. Here is the cruel paradox. The kinder you are, the less people notice it. Why? Because the human brain normalizes generosity. The first time you help someone, they feel grateful. The 5th time, they feel comfortable. The 10th time, they feel entitled. And the 15th time, they don't even see it. Kindness becomes background noise, present, expected, invisible. Machiavelli warned, what is customary is not valued. Your consistency kills your impact. 4. The kinder you are, the less people listen to you. People don't listen to those they believe they can overrun. Kindness often signals, you won't enforce consequences, you avoid conflict. You prioritize harmony, you tolerate disrespect, you fear disappointing others. And as soon as people sense these traits, they stop listening. Not because you're wrong, but because they don't fear the cost of ignoring you. 5. Kind men blend in. Ruthless men stand out. Life does not elevate the agreeable. Life elevates the assertive. Kindness makes you blend into the background. Authority makes you rise above it. A kind man walks into a room and people feel comfortable. A powerful man walks into a room and people adjust themselves. Which one do you think the world remembers? Which one do you think commands respect? Which one do you think attracts loyalty? Machiavelli never said to avoid kindness. He said to avoid being defined by it. Because once people define you as the kind one, you lose. Mystery, leverage, respect, influence, authority, voice. You become the shadow in your own life. The principle: kindness without power makes you invisible. Power with selective kindness makes you unforgettable. Part 3. How kindness turns into manipulation. Kindness doesn't just make you invisible, it does something far more dangerous. It gives manipulators everything they need to control you. And the cruel reality is this: manipulators don't target the cruel, the cold, or the ruthless. They target the kind. Not because they appreciate kindness, but because they can weaponize it. Here is exactly how they do it. 1. Your kindness reveals your weak spots. Manipulators study your kindness like a map. Every time you forgive too quickly, agree too easily, give without being asked, avoid confrontation, overextend yourself, fear disappointing someone, you reveal a pressure point. To a manipulator, these traits say, push here, he won't fight back. And once they know where to push, they push harder each time. Machiavelli wrote, "He who is predictable is already defeated." Your kindness makes you predictable. Predictability makes you exploitable. 2. Manipulators use your empathy against you. Manipulators have a simple tactic. They turn your strengths into vulnerabilities. If you're empathetic, they exaggerate their pain. If you're supportive, they increase their demands. If you're loyal, they test your loyalty to its breaking point. If you hate conflict, they use silence to punish you. Your kindness becomes the lever they use to move you. They don't need force. They only need your heart. 3. Your desire to be good becomes their tool. This is the deadliest trap. Most kind people have a deep desire to be moral, to be helpful, to be supportive, to be seen as good humans. Manipulators know this, so they attack specifically where you're proudest. I thought you cared about me. A good person wouldn't say no. You're not the man I thought you were. If you loved me, you'd do this. These statements are not emotional expressions. They are weapons. Weapons sharpened by your kindness. Machiavelli warned, a man who wishes to be good in all things will fall among those who are not good. Modern translation, goodness becomes bait when surrounded by wolves. 4. Your kindness encourages their dependency. The more you give, the less they try. Your kindness slowly trains people to stop solving their own problems, stop being accountable, stop putting in effort, stop growing, stop respecting you. They don't want your help, they want your labor. And once they realize you'll always show up, they stop showing up themselves. You become their emotional infrastructure, their stability, their safety net. They don't see it as generosity, they see it as your job. 5. Manipulators reward kindness with temporary peace. This is the hook. When you comply, you get peace. When you resist, you get guilt, conflict, or punishment. So you keep giving to restore harmony. They have conditioned you. This is not a relationship. It's behavioral control. And the kind man becomes the perfect subject because he values peace more than power. 6. They make you afraid of being selfish. Manipulators twist your kindness into shame. If you say no, ask for space, enforce a boundary, express your needs, pull back your support, they instantly accuse you of selfishness. Not because you are selfish, but because guilt weakens you, and a weakened man is easier to control. The principle: your kindness is not the problem. Your lack of boundaries is. Kindness without discernment is the fuel manipulators burn to keep themselves warm. Machiavelli's truth: the good are destroyed by their inability to imagine the malice of others. Your kindness becomes your downfall, not because you are good, but because you assume others are. Part 4. Why kind men get used. The Machiavellian logic. Kind men don't get used because they're good. They get used because they misunderstand human nature. Machiavelli exposed this centuries ago. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. As long as you benefit them, they are yours. But the moment you stop giving, they show who they really are. The modern world tries to soften this truth, but human behavior hasn't changed. Here is the real reason kind men get used. 1. Kindness removes fear, and without fear, there is no respect. Kind men hate this idea, but it's the backbone of human relationships. If people don't fear disappointing you, they will eventually take advantage of you. Fear is not cruelty. Fear is the awareness of consequence. A man who never enforces consequences loses the ability to influence behavior. Kind men give endlessly because they believe it will earn them loyalty. But loyalty is built on respect, and respect requires boundaries, tension, and accountability. Kindness without boundaries creates neither. 2. People do not value what comes without cost. When something is free, people stop caring about it. People stop noticing it. People stop respecting it. Your kindness becomes a discount. Your generosity becomes a clearance sale. Your presence becomes a product on the bottom shelf. Human psychology is simple. Scarcity creates value. Abundance creates indifference. The more you give, the cheaper you become. 3. Kind men signal that their needs don't matter. A man who always prioritizes others says without speaking a word, "My time is not important. My boundaries are negotiable. My emotions are secondary. My needs can wait. I exist to support others." People believe you, and once they believe your needs are optional, they treat them as irrelevant. Machiavelli warned rulers, "A man who does not honor himself cannot expect to be honored by others." Modern translation: if you don't protect yourself, nobody else will. 4. Kind men create power. Imbalance without realizing it. Here's the truth. People instinctively rank others based on strength, certainty, and resistance. Kind men give without resistance, so they fall to the bottom of the hierarchy. When you always forgive, always understand, always sacrifice, always accept mistreatment, always respond gently, always put yourself last, you place yourself beneath others. You think it's noble, they think it's natural. And once the hierarchy is set, most people will never voluntarily move you upward. 5. Kind men are predictable, and predictability kills influence. A man who is predictable loses advantage. Kind men say yes by default, avoid conflict, respond emotionally, reveal their intentions, show their vulnerabilities, give without being asked. Manipulators love predictable men because predictable behavior creates predictable outcomes. Machiavelli wrote, "One must learn how not to be good when necessity demands it, because pure goodness is readable, and what is readable is controllable." 6. Kind men confuse approval with love. This is one of the deepest wounds. Kind men chase approval thinking it will earn them connection. They don't realize approval is conditional respect, is foundational affection, is unstable loyalty, is situational. People approve of what benefits them. People respect what intimidates them. People love what challenges them. A kind man provides comfort but not gravity, and without gravity, no one orbits around you. The principle. Kind men get used not because they deserve it, but because they never learned the Machiavellian foundations of strength. Boundaries create respect. Scarcity creates value, consequences create fear, confidence creates attraction, self-prioritization creates authority. Kindness without these is not kindness, it is surrender. Part 5. The psychology of being too good. Being kind is not the problem. Being too good is, because too good is not kindness. It's fear dressed as virtue. Let's break the psychology of a man who becomes too good and why this mindset destroys his influence, his relationships, and his sense of self. 1. Too good is often just fear of rejection. Many men hide behind kindness because they're terrified of being disliked. So they say yes when they want to say no, smile when they feel resentment, agree just to avoid tension, tolerate disrespect to keep the peace. This isn't kindness, it's self-erasure. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." He understood that men who fear rejection will sacrifice their dignity to avoid it. And once people sense that fear, they push harder. 2. Too good comes from needing validation. A man who needs validation lives for external approval. He performs kindness like a currency. He gives and gives because he wants to be seen as worthy, gentle, noble, admirable. But here's the truth. When you need validation from others, you give them the power to destroy you. Kindness becomes a transaction instead of a trait. And like any transaction, when people no longer need what you offer, you lose your value to them. 3. The fear of becoming the villain controls him. The too good man tells himself, "I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to be harsh. I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want to be seen as bad." But underneath this moral facade is a simple truth. He is terrified of confrontation, so he hides behind kindness because it prevents conflict temporarily. In reality, it only delays conflict until it becomes catastrophic. Machiavelli warned, "Hatred is gained as much by good works as by evil." When you try too hard to be perfect, people resent you anyway. 4. Too good creates emotional blindness. Kind men often fail to see manipulation, disrespect, unequal effort, emotional exploitation, hidden resentment, transactional love. They misinterpret red flags as misunderstandings. They excuse harmful behavior as stress. They rationalize cruelty as a mistake. They keep giving because they assume good intentions that do not exist. This blindness is not compassion. It is self-deception. 5. Too good makes you lose yourself. A man who is too good slowly dissolves. His boundaries fade, his identity weakens, his desires go silent, his needs disappear, his voice grows quieter. He becomes a mirror reflecting what others want him to be, not a man, a shapeshifter, because he believes, if I become perfect for them, they won't leave. But they leave anyway, because nobody respects a man who doesn't choose himself. 6. When you are too good, people stop believing you can be dangerous, and that is fatal. People trust those who can enforce consequences. If you cannot, walk away, cut ties, set limits, say, "Enough, choose yourself." You lose all psychological power. People respect you only when they believe you are capable of being dangerous, even if you choose not to be. Machiavelli knew a prince must learn how to use the beast, not to become a monster, but to ensure the world never treats him like prey. The principle being good is noble. Being too good is destructive, because kindness without strength becomes exploitation. Compassion without boundaries becomes self-betrayal. Love without standards becomes slavery. Goodness without danger becomes irrelevance. A man must learn, be good when you can, be dangerous when you must. This is not immorality. This is survival. Part 6. The hidden cost of being. Too kind people talk endlessly about the benefits of kindness. but almost no one speaks about its costs. And yet these costs shape a man's fate more than his virtues ever will. Kindness is beautiful, but unchecked kindness is lethal. Here are the hidden prices a too kind man pays. Prices he never agreed to, but pays every day. 1. You become a sanctuary for broken people. When you're too kind, you attract people who don't want to grow. They want to drain the wounded, the chaotic, the unstable, the irresponsible. The ones who want comfort, not accountability. They come to you because you won't judge, you won't demand, you won't challenge, you won't leave. Your kindness becomes a shelter, not for the deserving, but for the dependent. Machiavelli warned, a man who becomes a refuge for others soon finds himself without refuge. You protect everyone and end up with no one protecting you, too. You lose time you will never get back. Kindness consumes the one resource you can never restore, time. Time you spend fixing others' problems, calming their chaos, explaining what should be obvious, supporting what should not be tolerated, rescuing people who don't want to save themselves, giving energy to people who only take. Every minute you invest in the wrong person is stolen from your future. This is the silent cost that destroys your potential. 3. Your mental health slowly deteriorates. A man who gives too much slowly develops resentment, exhaustion, suppressed anger, anxiety, emotional numbness, burnout, loss of identity. But he hides it behind a polite smile, telling himself, I'm just being a good person. No, he is slowly collapsing under the weight of expectations he never signed up for. 4. Your standards erode, one compromise at a time. You tell yourself, it's not a big deal. I'll let it slide. They didn't mean it. I should be understanding. And with every compromise, your self-respect dies a little. Kindness becomes a doorway to tolerance. Tolerance becomes a doorway to disrespect. Disrespect becomes a doorway to exploitation. By the time you notice, you are living a life built entirely around other people's comfort. 5. You become the reliable one, not the respected one. There's a tragic difference. Reliable men get tasks. Respected men get loyalty. Kind men drown in responsibility because others trust their compliance, not their leadership. You become the one people call when they need something, not when they value something. 6. Your relationships become one-sided. When you are too kind, you give, they take. You listen, they speak. You adapt, they demand. You show up, they forget. Kindness becomes the foundation of relationships that are fundamentally unequal. The more you give, the less they feel obligated to reciprocate, not because they are evil, but because you trained them to believe your effort is endless. 7. You start feeling invisible. The most heartbreaking cost. Kind men fade into the background. Why? Because tension creates presence. Boundaries create gravity. Unpredictability creates interest. Strength creates attention. Kindness alone creates none of these. So you become overlooked, underestimated, undervalued, unseen. Not because you lack worth, but because your kindness made you blend in. 8. You teach the world how to mistreat you. Every time you choose peace over self-respect, you reinforce a message. This is acceptable. Every time you forgive without consequence, you normalize the offense. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you train others to ignore your limits. Machiavelli's truth is brutal. You are treated according to the power you project, not the kindness you possess. A kind man with no power is treated like a servant. A kind man with power is treated like a leader. The principle: kindness is not the enemy. Self-betrayal is. The cost of kindness is not paid in money. It is paid in time, dignity, emotional energy, respect, opportunities, identity. But the good news, once you stop paying these costs, your value multiplies. Part 7. When kindness becomes self-destruction. There is a point where kindness stops being a virtue and becomes a weapon you turn against yourself. Most men don't notice when this shift happens, because it's slow, subtle, and disguised as morality. But the consequences are catastrophic. Here's how kindness crosses the line and becomes self-destruction. 1. You start betraying your own principles. You don't lie to others, yet you lie to yourself. It's fine. I don't mind. I'll get over it. They didn't mean it. I shouldn't be selfish. Every time you silence your truth to preserve someone else's comfort, you stab your integrity. Kindness becomes the excuse you use to avoid courage. 2. You become addicted to being needed. This is the most dangerous dependency of all. Kind men unconsciously crave being useful, being depended on, being appreciated, being relied upon. It gives them a sense of purpose. But manipulators see this addiction immediately, and they exploit it effortlessly. They keep you in their life not because they value you, but because you serve a function. The moment you stop serving that function, you become disposable. 3. You tear yourself down to keep others standing. You twist your life around the needs of others. You sacrifice sleep time, emotional stability, personal goals, boundaries, self-respect, just to keep their lives together. You become the foundation of their comfort and the casualty of their chaos. Machiavelli warned rulers, "A man who is always merciful invites destruction upon himself, because mercy without limits destroys the giver first." 4. You stop asking for anything in return. You stop expecting effort, attention, loyalty, respect, reciprocity, because you've convinced yourself that wanting something back makes you selfish. So you give more than you receive, accept less than you deserve, and tolerate what no man should tolerate. This isn't kindness, it's self-erasure. 5. You become the villain in your own story. The more you suppress your voice, the more resentment grows. You start feeling used, ignored, unappreciated, invisible, exhausted, bitter. And here's the tragic part. People still see you as the nice one because you never showed them the cost of being that way. You suffer silently and the world applauds your suffering as virtue. 6. You lose the ability to say enough. This is the final stage of self-destruction. A man who cannot set limits cannot protect his time, his peace, his future, his identity, his sanity. So he becomes trapped in the expectations of others. And the deeper he goes, the harder it is to escape. Machiavelli's truth: he who allows others to determine his fate will never rise. A man without boundaries does not control his life. 7. You become afraid of your own strength. Kind men often fear anger, confrontation, authority, dominance, self-assertion, because they were taught that strength is dangerous. But here is the twisted irony. By rejecting your strength, you become dangerously weak, and weakness destroys your life far faster than strength ever could. The principle: you cannot save others by destroying yourself. Kindness becomes self-destruction when it requires you to silence your truth, deny your needs, abandon your standards, tolerate disrespect, sacrifice your identity, live for others instead of yourself. True kindness is balanced by boundaries. Anything else is self-harm. Part 8. The moment kindness turns into power. Up to this point, kindness has sounded like a liability, but that is only half the truth. Kindness becomes dangerous, dangerously powerful, the moment you combine it with strength. Machiavelli hinted at this balance when he wrote, "It is well to appear merciful, faithful, humane, but to be capable of the opposite when necessary." Meaning, kindness is strongest when it is a choice, not a default. Here's the exact moment when kindness transforms from weakness into authority. 1. When your kindness is no longer automatic. Instead of giving by reflex, you give by intention. You stop pleasing everyone, saving everyone, explaining yourself, overextending, apologizing for existing. Your kindness becomes selective, and selective kindness is powerful because it signals, I control where my energy goes. You become a man of voluntary generosity, not forced compliance. 2. When your no becomes as strong as your yes. This is the turning point. Weak men cannot say no. Powerful men can. A man whose no carries weight is trusted, respected, taken seriously. Boundaries create shape, and shape creates presence. The moment you enforce boundaries, people start recalibrating their behavior around you, not because they fear your wrath, but because they recognize your spine. 3. When you stop rewarding bad behavior. Kindness stops being weakness the moment you stop tolerating disrespect. You no longer give second chances to manipulators, excuses, to the inconsistent attention, to the ungrateful loyalty, to the unreliable. You withdraw access. You withdraw effort. You withdraw presence, not out of cruelty, but out of self-respect. Machiavelli wrote, injuries must be inflicted all at once. Cut off those who drain you swiftly and decisively. Your kindness sharpens when it is not wasted. 4. When you make people earn your goodness. A powerful man does not give goodness freely. He gives it strategically. People begin to realize your time is rare, your attention is valuable, your support is meaningful, your loyalty is earned, not assumed. This elevates your presence. Your scarcity increases your worth. Kindness becomes a reward, not a default setting. 5. When you become emotionally self-sufficient. The most powerful kindness comes from a man who doesn't need approval. When you no longer depend on others to validate you, reassure you, praise you, appreciate you, choose you, your kindness becomes pure, free of desperation, free of expectation, free of fear. It is kindness from abundance, not emptiness, and that is magnetic. 6. When you can be dangerous, but choose not to be. This is the ultimate transformation. The strongest version of kindness comes from a man who has mastered his shadow. He can confront. He can impose boundaries. He can walk away. He can be harsh if needed. He can end relationships that drain him. He is capable of darkness, but does not abuse it. He is capable of force, but applies restraint. He is capable of dominance, but uses wisdom instead. Machiavelli understood this paradox. A prince must learn how not to be good, but use goodness when it serves him. Kindness backed by strength commands loyalty. Kindness without strength invites exploitation. The principle: the moment kindness becomes power is the moment it becomes intentional, not forced, not manipulated, not extracted, not expected, chosen. Because a man who can be harsh but chooses to be kind is not weak. He is in control. Part 9. The Machiavellian formula for powerful kindness. Kindness becomes unstoppable when it is governed by strategy, tempered by boundaries, and rooted in self-respect. This is the Machiavellian formula, the transformation from a man who is used to a man who is followed. Below are the final distilled principles that turn kindness into a weapon of influence, not a doorway to exploitation. 1. Give selectively, not habitually. Weak kindness. I help because I feel obligated. Powerful kindness. I help because I choose to. You must learn to choose where your energy flows. Give only to those who reciprocate respect. You add value, show effort. Uphold standards. Selective kindness is rare, and rarity creates power. 2. Withdraw from those who drain you. There is no virtue in remaining where you are depleted. Machiavelli wrote, "A wise man avoids what destroys him." If someone drains your energy, ignores your boundaries, undermines your confidence, takes you for granted, never changes their behavior, your absence is the solution, not your effort, not your patience, not more kindness, your departure. 3. Make people earn access to you. Your presence is a privilege. Treat it like one. A powerful man is not available to everyone. He is not always reachable. He is not endlessly accessible. He guards his time, emotions, attention, inner world. He does not hand out intimacy like a free sample. People must rise to meet you, not drag you down to meet them. 4. Match energy. Don't overextend. Give in proportion. Invest where investment is returned. If someone provides effort, meet them with effort, respect. Meet them with respect, loyalty. Meet them with loyalty. But if someone gives you nothing, stop giving them everything. Matching energy is not cold. It is balanced. 5. Enforce consequences without emotion. Consequences are the backbone of respect. A man who never enforces consequences invites disrespect. A man who enforces them calmly invites loyalty. Cold clarity is more effective than emotional punishment. Machiavelli understood. Men respond more to necessity than to gratitude. Let your boundaries be necessity. 6. Don't announce your kindness. Demonstrate it. Weak men perform kindness because they want recognition. Powerful men practice kindness because they embody it. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need applause. Goodness is powerful only when it is autonomous. 7. Cultivate the capacity for darkness. This is the core Machiavellian truth. A kind man must still be capable of being dangerous, not violent, not reckless, not cruel, but capable of saying no, walking away, confronting disrespect, asserting boundaries, choosing yourself, enforcing consequences. A man who cannot be dangerous cannot be truly kind, because his kindness has no weight, no backbone, no authority. It is a costume, not a character. 8. Operate from strength, not need. Kindness rooted in need is manipulation. Kindness rooted in fear is weakness. But kindness rooted in strength is influence. When you no longer need people to like you, validate you, accept you, praise you, choose you, your kindness becomes a gift, not a request. And people feel the difference. The final principle: kindness must be backed by power. Power must be guided by wisdom. Wisdom must be sharpened by boundaries. This is the formula: kind heart, strong spine, cold mind, clear limits, selective giving, quiet confidence, consequences without anger. A man like this is not too good. He is untouchable. Machiavelli would call him a ruler of himself first and therefore of many.